Unfortunately, as good of a peacemaker President Trump may be, Israel doesn't seem to be playing by the rules, and President Trump is pissed.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
You're it. You're it. You're it. Quitsies. Anti-quitsies. You're it. Quitsies. No anti-quitsies. No startsies. You can't do that. Can't do. Cannot. Triple stamped it. No erases. Touch blue. Make it true. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You can't triple stamp a double stamp. You guys! Enough! Hey. Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
It took 15 years for the military to prep for Operation Midnight Hammer, and it was executed perfectly. Now, Israel is overstepping, going out of bounds, and like I said, President Trump is pissed about that. He already had defused Iran, and guess who comes in and starts lighting stuff up after President Trump already got the ceasefire in order? You know who? Israel. Now, before we continue into that, I want you to take a look at this clip here to see how much hard work and effort went into Operation Midnight Hammer. Trump actually got this executed. They've been prepping for this for a decade and a half, and Trump was the only president that had the cojones to actually get this done. Shout out to Glenn Beck for this clip. Check it out.
I spoke to some people who have been around the B-2 program, shall we say. And they said for 15 years, they have been training for this very run. For 15 years, they have, in fact, I think it's at White Sands, we built a replica of this nuclear plant. And, underground, because we needed to see how far these bunker busters, could they actually penetrate and close that nuclear facility down. So we have been running this practice run for 15 plus years. We have been very, very serious about it. Again, when everybody said, only the United States could do this, that's because we built this bomb for this run. And we have been rehearsing it over and over and over and over again. So finally, the president gave the go. Now, these bombs are so sophisticated that, if they're being jammed and somebody is trying to screw with the GPS, it doesn't need GPS. It has a backup system that's coming from the plane that can't be jammed, and it's running two systems because this bomb has to be accurate enough to go down a shaft. If you saw a Top Gun, it's almost this, without the steep dive and then the mass acceleration and pull up at the end. It's exactly like what you saw in Top Gun. They had a shaft that was about a 10-foot square, and they needed, from 50,000 feet, they needed to drop these bunker busters down that shaft. Now, I have been told that this bunker buster is so accurate, it can hit the top of a soda can from 50,000 feet.
It is just so crazy to me that Trump is literally having to have two battles go on simultaneously, dealing with Israel and Iran, as well as dealing with the mainstream media back here in the United States. Now, as you know, Trump has created a peace deal over there, or at least a ceasefire for now, and hopefully Israel and Iran can have a truce or chill out for a few years and stop bombing each other. It's gotten out of control, and we don't want to get sucked into something that will spiral out of control, as you may know. But the media here in the United States is making it seem like World War III could happen any day, which it potentially could. It kind of could, right? But we got to give Trump a little bit of credit because as for now, it seems like it's working. Iran has accepted the ceasefire, so hopefully they can have time to make a deal. As you know, that's what Trump wants to do. As long as he can make a deal and Iran's not going to be, using nuclear weapons or potentially sending sleeper cells to do something from within, I think we have a win. But who's to say, right? Who is to say? But Trump is pissed. He's dealing with not only the media here at home, not only with Iran, but Israel is also being a problem, not holding up their end of the bargain. So it's just like at every angle that Trump is looking at, he's having to deal with some sort of nonsense. But he's standing firm, man. So we'll see what happens. Check out the full clip here of Trump telling the mainstream media what has been taking place behind the scenes with Israel and Iran. Let's get into it.
Did you get to speak with the Prime Minister? Did you talk to Prime Minister Netanyahu last night?
I speak to everybody.
Are you going to call the Prime
urge
Minister?
both sides not to violate the ceasefire, but reports coming from the region suggest that the sides accuse each other for violating the ceasefire. So
I think they both violated it. I don't think I'm not sure they did it intentionally. They couldn't rein people back. I don't like the fact that Israel went out this morning at all, and I'm going to see if I can stop it. So as soon as I get away from you, I'm going to see if I can stop it, okay?
How confident are you
I think it's been completely demolished. I think the reason we're here is because those pilots, those B-2 pilots, did an unbelievable job. And, the fake news, like CNN in particular, they're trying to say, well, I agree that it was destroyed, but maybe not that destroyed. You know what they're doing? They're really hurting great pilots that put their lives in the line. CNN is scum, and so is MSDNC. They're all. And frankly, the networks aren't much better. It's all fake news, but they should not have done that. Those pilots hit their targets. Those targets were obliterated, and the pilots should be given credit. They're not after the pilots, they're after me. They want to try and demean.
You don't believe that Iran can rebuild its nuclear program?
Iran will never rebuild its nuclear. From there? Absolutely not. That place is under rock. That place is demolished. The B-2 pilots did their job. They did it better than anybody could even imagine. They hit late in the evening. It was dark with no moon, and they hit that target with every one of those things, and that place is gone. But when I see CNN all night long, they're trying to say, well, maybe it wasn't really as demolished as we thought. It was demolished. You take a look at the pinpricks, and you see that place is gone. And I will say, I think CNN ought to apologize to the pilots of the B-2s. I think that MSDNC ought to apologize. I think these guys really, these networks and these cable networks are real losers. You really are. You're real losers.
Israel says that they violated the ceasefire.
You're gutless losers. I say that to CNN because I watch it. I have no choice. I got to watch that garbage. It's all garbage. It's all fake news. But I think CNN is a gutless group of people. And the people that run it, nobody even knows it's been sold so many times. But the people that run it ought to be ashamed. MSDNC, a guy named Brian Roberts, he heads it. He's a disgrace. He's a weak, pathetic disgrace.
Israel says that Iran violated the peace agreement and the ceasefire agreement. Do you believe that Iran is still committed to peace?
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
Are you questioning if Israel is committed?
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
You have to respond to Iran?
Now, as you might have noticed in the beginning of the video, President Trump is not happy with Israel at all. So we'll see if Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, all of these people, we even have some people in Congress that are going against the grain. And we'll see if they were right, because Israel is going behind Trump's back and proving that they are untrustworthy, and Trump is the wrong guy to piss off. You don't want to be on his bad side, so we'll have to wait and see, but it seems like he's figuring that out. Now, not only do we have to worry about Israel breaking the rules and Iran secretly building a nuclear weapon, we have sleeper cells we have to worry about. Do you remember this guy?
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am.
This guy could potentially be a big problem. And how many people just like him are already in the United States? This is why Trump has such a big task on his hands, not only with securing the border and getting all of these illegals out of the country, there could be sleeper cells here. Like, it's really a big deal. So this is only the beginning by taking out Iran's nuclear enrichment facilities. Now we have to get on the ground here and get people out of the country that could potentially be a threat right here at home and cause big problems that we did not see coming. We could have some serious problems on our hands. We don't know what these people are truly capable of, but for now, let's hope that we don't have any nuclear weapons going off, and hopefully no one will have a dirty bomb or anything like that, because that would be absolutely devastating. But I think Iran leaders should know that if anything like that ever happens, it would be over for them. Trump already had an executive order saying that if he gets taken out, we completely take Iran off the face of the earth. So hopefully they didn't forget that. Now, the mainstream media has been known for spreading misinformation against President Trump, and they're back at it once again. Now, your favorite news reporter, Caitlin Collins, is about to get obliterated. I'm going to put it up on screen here in just a second. But as we know, President Trump has brokered this ceasefire deal, and Caitlin Collins is trying to downplay it as usual. CNN trying to give the president a bad look. But live on air, Anderson Cooper gets the go-ahead and the green light to tell Caitlin Collins that, hey, this is legit. They've got the ceasefire deal, and she's just dumbfounded with this look on her face. It's hilarious. Check it out.
There were no casualties. Now, we're hearing incredibly optimistic views coming out of the White House as far as how long this can hold and what this is going to look like. That obviously still remains to be seen on the implementation side of this, and waiting to see if the firing does stop and if Iran and Israel do both agree to this. Because, speaking of the fluidity of the situation, it was just 24 hours ago that President Trump himself was suggesting a regime change in Iran was a possibility. And obviously right before that, having the United States strike Iran. And so, yes, there have been a lot of phone calls going back and forth. In part, this has to do with Iran's limited response earlier, where they fired on a U.S. base in Qatar, but there were no casualties. We know that they did give a heads up that they were going to be firing on U.S. bases without exactly specifying which ones. But that is the question here, is if the United States felt that it did not need to respond to the Iranian retaliation, did that create the space for this? That is what we've been hearing from administration officials. And so the question is whether or not this still holds for the next few hours.
Caitlin, I just been given word that Iran, according to a diplomat who briefed CNN, Iran has agreed to the ceasefire. So this is significant. I just want to try to learn some more information as soon as we get it about that. But if that is the case, that's incredibly significant, because that is, we were waiting. We had not heard from Iran. We had not heard from Israel. All we were going on so far has been the president's social media post, which was some 2 hours ago. So again, that is the first indication we have that Iran has agreed to this.
Isn't it just refreshing to see Caitlin Collins get destroyed at least once a week? Wait, that sounds kind of weird. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, if it wasn't for people like Scott Jennings, actually him in particular, CNN would be in the tank. The people come on there from the left and just say the most egregious things. It's unbelievable. It's like these people are literally backing Iran. We've got AOC out here saying that President Trump needs to be impeached for taking action against Iran and destroying their nuclear enrichment facilities. Like, is this a joke? These people are crazy. But Scott Jennings has something for everybody. Anybody that wants to smoke, anybody that wants to beef, Scott Jennings has what you need. Go see him. He'll get you fixed up right, because I'm telling you, he is kicking butt, taking names, has the block hot. Every time somebody goes up against Scott Jennings, they get wrecked. Check it out.
This, in fact, effectively sets back the program and doesn't lead to wider escalation. The president seems to have accomplished all the objectives that he set out to achieve.
Of course. I told you yesterday I didn't think we were at war and that this represented a de-escalation of the situation. And that's exactly where we are with this flaccid Iranian response. In the words of the great boxer Roberto Duran, no mas, no mas. That's what Iran is saying after Israel has degraded their military capabilities and the president of the United States has taken away their ability to make nuclear weapons. This is capitulation, in my opinion, from Iran today. And it is a complete and total vindication of the Trump strategy, which was to let Israel beat these guys to a pulp. We show up and take away their nukes. Yes, let's have a deal now. I think it'd be great to have a deal with Iran about right now. This is not an escalation. This is a de-escalation.
Well, Trump promised escalation.
This is not
Trump promised
First,
escalation.
ever
Iranian.
bunker busting bombs is not an escalation.
Because she said President Trump promised us peace. I ask you, can we have peace if Iran has a nuclear weapon?
Well, we had a deal, and
you're litigating the past.
I'm not litigating the past.
Can we have peace if they have a nuclear weapon?
We had a deal. He's trying to get
And they were
back into
violating
that
it.
deal. And he withdrew from that.
They were violating
and not only that, now he's trying to have another deal.
Bribery and appeasement does not work with terrorism.
Let me hold on.
The United States, you can't violate national sovereignty of a country.
Why?
Why?
We do it all the time.
I know, because America violates international law all the time.
Who's going to stop us?
Decades, you would think morality ought to play some role.
You think it's immoral to stop Iran from getting a nuclear weapon?
I think that any condition.
Who's the moral actor here, Iran or the United States?
In terms of ensuring that we don't have nuclear bombs anywhere?
No, in terms of ensuing these butchers don't have nuclear bombs that they have fully said they will use on Israel.
Well, we got a larger discussion. We've got United States, Israel.
There's no equivocation.
What they've done in Gaza gives neither one of them moral authority. That's a genocide. It's ethnic cleansing. Israel has no moral authority. United States has no moral authority. You think that some? No, we just have deep disagreements on that. But I'd like to hear your Christian formulation.
So your alternative is to allow them to develop and deploy a nuclear weapon.
My brother?
Hold on a second.
Where does the love? Where's the love for you, for Iranians, and for Palestinians and others?
We don't live in a theocracy, but they do, and their theology.
I don't defend theocracy.
Their theology is to get a nuclear weapon, destroy Israel, and destroy the great Satan, which is the United States. Our government is based on one thing: national defense. And what's in the best interest of our national defense is for these fanatics not to have a nuclear weapon where they can wipe us off the map. It has nothing to do with Christian or whatever. It has everything to do with national defense.
And you don't think there's fanatics?
Now, we know that the left is always doing everything they can to go against President Trump. Literally every Democrat in Congress always go against President Trump. It's out of control. But now the people on the right are also eating their own. We've seen Candace Owens, we've seen Tucker Carlson, we've seen Megyn Kelly all going against President Trump, and those numbers seem to be going even higher for him potentially getting us in another war or possibly World War III. After he said that he was anti-war, people are pissed about it. And now the right is even eating their own, like I said. But this time, it's people in Congress. Marjorie Taylor Greene seems to be going against President Trump. I truly believe that she still has his back, but it's okay to disagree with certain things with people on the left. Love to take things out of context, but check it out for yourself. Marjorie Taylor Greene not seeming to agree with what President Trump is doing with Iran.
Tell you what, 6 months in, Steve, and here we are turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag-draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
There are mixed feelings about the current state of affairs between Israel, Iran, and the United States, but facts are facts. The Iranians have agreed to the ceasefire. Now, this is far from President Trump's demand for an unconditional surrender, but it's a start. The craziest part of it is it seems that Israel may be the ones to break the agreement for the ceasefire, considering they've already went behind President Trump's back. I don't see it being far-fetched to believe that all of Trump's hard work and peace brokering could get ruined because of Israel before Iran ruins it. We will see. Either way, Trump is surely trying his best to resolve the situation. We will have to sit back and wait to see who was right. I don't think we can trust Iran or Israel, and we might truly distance ourselves from any conflicts that don't directly involve us. But maybe Trump is starting to see Israel's true colors and will cut them off. Let me know your thoughts down below. Things are heating up day by day, but hopefully there will be a cool down, and hopefully Iran won't retaliate, and hopefully Israel won't screw things up and go behind President Trump's back again and spin us into World War III. Anything is possible. Always stay prepped. Always keep food and supplies. Always keep your head on swivel. You never know who's in the country. You never know if there's sleeper cells. We live in a crazy day and age right now, but we have to do the best we can and deal with the cards we are dealt. And I can tell you there's no place I'd rather live than in the United States of America. We have it great here, but we have to protect it at all costs. We have to look out for each other, stop hating on each other, and pay attention to the bigger problems rather than focusing on these small things that are going on social media. Look at the big picture. Let's be on the same team, y'all. You're watching the Unexplained Outlook. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.